Things just lined up perfectly for the New York Yankees, as there's been a lot of discourse surrounding this team's infield, and there is a clear solution to this problem now. While the New York Yankees, who have some prospects they would be willing to move in order to continue to go all in on this team moving forwards this season, the Yankees have found a solution to their infield issues in regards to all the injuries, and we're going to break this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you're part of that 78% that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily New York Yankees updates on trade rumors, all the stuff going around the team with injuries, changes to the lineup, everything New York Yankees, we will be covering here every single day, so it's a great spot to get all your Yankees news. But let's jump into the video. I don't need to beg you guys to subscribe anymore. Look, as we know, Brian Cashman is active every single trade season. Now, once the deadline comes around, Brian Cashman is no stranger to moves. Now, this doesn't mean he's going to make a blockbuster trade every single season. We saw in 2023, a year where the Yankees struggled mightily and missed the playoffs going 82-80. We didn't see them make too many moves. They acquired a relief pitcher who, I'm not even going to lie, I forget who it is because it was such an underwhelming trade deadline when it felt like the Yankees were going to do something big to try to snap back in to playoff contention. They didn't do that. They missed the playoffs. Overall, one of the worst years as a Yankee fan in recent memory. Obviously, they bounced back just fine, and now they're continuing to do very well once again. They have Aaron Judge, who's healthy and not out with a toe injury, and on top of that, we saw last year they made the World Series. We now have a new-look Yankees team that's also been very successful, exceeding everybody's expectations. And now everything has fallen perfectly into place once again for the Yankees, who have a chance to buy low on a guy with a ton of talent and also fills in for this third base spot. Now, as we know, the third base spot for the New York Yankees was something that Brian Cashman never really finished covering when the Yankees began their season. There was a battle between Oswaldo Cabrera, DJ LeMahieu, and Oswald Peraza for that spot. LeMahieu got injured, hurting his calf. Now Oswald Peraza, who didn't win the spot, has been terrible, or not terrible, but not good on the offensive end at all. And Oswaldo Cabrera, who was the best out of all of them, well, he's out for the season with an ankle injury. So where things stand, the New York Yankees have found themselves in a tough spot where LeMahieu's back, and once Jazz Chisholm returns to the field, it's likely we'll see LeMahieu get some reps at third base because the other option's Pablo Lopez? It's not really a great option for this New York Yankees team. Well, an MLB reporter did give us a good sign. Now, as was mentioned by Matt Grazel, after an offseason of being involved in trade rumors, Phillies third baseman Alec Bohm continues to be mentioned in trade speculation. It makes sense considering he will be a free agent following the 2026 season. His last year of arbitration, Philadelphia will begin to have multiple players from its core becoming free agents starting this upcoming offseason. So Bohm will not be at the top of their list, or likely will not be. Bohm does give the Yankees what they need, and because of that, this trade was proposed, where the Yankees land Alec Bohm in exchange for Ian Hamilton, Everson Bejeda, the number 12 prospect for the New York Yankees, and Carlos LaGrange, who is the number 17 prospect for the Yankees. Now, real quick, the Yankees have a ton of pitching prospects, and we are going to go over Carlos LaGrange because we've never talked about him a bunch. We've talked about Pereira a bit, and we will get into him a bit more, but where it stands, these guys are expendable, and I'll explain that. I mean, Hamilton, I think we can all agree, is expendable, especially with Loaisiga coming back. The Yankees have a good amount of depth with their right-handed relief pitching, including, I mean, obviously Loaisiga now that he's back. And on top of that, you have Luke Weaver. You have Jake Cousins, who's supposed to come back from injury soon. You have a bunch of arms. You have Devin Williams, who's from the right side once things can get under control there. The Yankees do have right-handed relief pitching where that's not something they have to worry about whatsoever. Also, when Marcus Stroman comes back, it's likely he'll be in the bullpen at some point as well, as long as he stays on the Yankees. I actually think he fits better as a bullpen player pretty clearly because of the way he pitches and the fact that he is someone who's a breaking ball guy. He could just start to use his top two pitches more, get around the order once at most, and then be pulled. I think that makes more sense for Stroman, but we'll see how that goes, obviously, as well. But in regards to Bohm, he would be a good addition to this team. Now, Bohm's had a rough start to this season. There's no doubt about it. He's got a minus .5 WAR this season in a year where he has something to prove so he could show that he is a legit guy who deserves big money like what Spotrac projected at the beginning of the season for him to get a 7-year deal worth north of 170 or 180 million. So Bohm was projected to get big money, and he hasn't had the greatest start to this year. I mean, he has 3 home runs, and he's not a big home run hitter by any means, but the batting average is a little bit down from average at 260. His OPS is down at a 663. But he is a very good fielder. He's a talented fielder. He does give the Yankees stability at third base as a right-handed batter, which is huge. We recently talked about Ryan McMahon for this team, and something I mentioned is that the Yankees had prolonged interest in Ryan McMahon for a while, especially when they needed left-handed batters. They don't need left-handed batters anymore. They need a right-handed batter, if we're being honest. So, first of all, great job of the Yankees to address that left-handed situation. Now you need a righty, but man, those days with some of those lefties out there were horrific in 2023. But whatever, we're past it. What matters is that this team now has a bunch of versatile left-handed hitting. The problem is you need that right-handed third baseman, and Bohm could be your guy. I mean, that's not a very expensive trade for a guy in Alec Bohm who would have costed way more had he not had this slow start to the season that he's having. So it helps out the Yankees a lot. Now you look at Ian Hamilton, he's a guy who 4.61 ERA in his 13.2 innings pitched. He's got 19 strikeouts, which is a good sign, and his whip is good also, above average by a lot. But things are just not going his way fully. He is allowing runs, which has been an issue. Hamilton gets a fresh start on the season in a new team that would probably use him a bit more than the Yankees could use him. But on top of that, they also get 2 prospects, those 2 prospects being Everson Tejeda and Carlos LaGrange. Now again, Tejeda, here's the thing. He's got good numbers in the minor leagues. 917 OPS with a 379 on base percentage and an average of 269. He's got 9 home runs out of his 28 hits and the 104 at-bats that he has for 20 RBIs. He also stole 4 bases. He's more of a center fielder than anything else. But you look at his career MLB stats, he's got a 151 average, a 233 on base percentage, and an OPS of 427. I understand it's only 93 at-bats. It's such a small sample size, you can't really say anything about it. But the Yankees, who have this outfield depth like there's no tomorrow, it's just Tejeda's found himself on a team that does not need more outfielding, so it would make sense for the Yankees to move on from him, even though most of their prospects in the top 20 plus are pitchers. The Yankees have spent 14 of their last 20 draft picks on pitchers, so they've addressed this need aggressively for more pitching. However, we've seen guys who are not outfielders, because there's also Spencer Jones in there. It's just, there's no room for Tejeda at this point with this Yankee team, at least where things currently stand. He definitely wants to make it to the MLB. Getting to Philly would move him to a different situation that doesn't have the same depth in the outfield, which means he could find his way to the MLB faster, which I imagine Tejeda would rather than to stay at the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders, which makes sense. On top of that, with LaGrange, he's having a good season in the minors. I mean, his career averages in the minors are not great at a 4.39 ERA and a whip of 1.19, which honestly isn't terrible. But you look at his ERA at a 3.45. In the 6 games that he started this season, pitching 31.1 innings, he's got 50 strikeouts. He is a strikeout pitcher, and he throws with some heat, can get up to 100 miles per hour. LaGrange is a prospect we've never talked about in Yankees Digest. He's got a whip of 0.96. He's been exciting this year. The Yankees, again, though, they have a lot of pitching. They'll have a bit of a logjam when Luis Gil gets back in a month. LaGrange is not going to make it to the Yankees this season. He's not really going to make it to the MLB at all this season, if we're being honest, but he will eventually if he stays on this path. As Matt Grayzel mentioned, LaGrange can throw over 100 miles per hour and has appeared mostly as a starter in the minors. During a start in March, he threw a 101 mile per hour fastball and afterwards commented he could always throw at that kind of velocity no matter how high profile an outing could be. And he said himself, I feel really good, but I throw at this velocity always. I don't want to describe myself specifically to anybody. I would like them to watch me pitch and have their own opinion of me. So he's a guy who you can respect the hell out of as well. It's a trade that makes sense for both sides. Bohm gets a fresh start on a team that could use his services desperately, which could definitely help him bounce back. Also, a change of scenery might not hurt the guy. On top of that, it feels like it could likely be a rental for the Yankees, so they would only pay so much. They give away guys who they don't exactly need. It would help the Phillies. This feels like a win-win trade to me. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.